While governments around the world continue releasing reports about UFOs and unexplained aerial phenomena, one question refuses to disappear. What if the Bible described something similar thousands of years ago, long before airplanes, long before satellites, long before modern technology? An ancient prophet recorded a vision so strange, so powerful, and so difficult to explain that it still fuels debates today. His name was Ezekiel, and what he witnessed has led some people to ask an extraordinary question. Did the Bible describe aliens? According to Ezekiel, the heavens suddenly opened. A massive storm approached. Dark clouds rolled across the sky. Fire flashed within the clouds. Brilliant light surrounded the entire scene. Then something appeared. Something unlike anything he had ever seen before. Ezekiel described living beings moving with impossible precision. He described wheels within wheels. Objects that moved in every direction without turning. Objects surrounded by light, fire, and supernatural energy. To many modern readers, the description sounds surprisingly familiar. Some researchers believe Ezekiel may have witnessed an advanced craft. Others believe he was seeing technology beyond human understanding. And some even claim this was the first UFO encounter in recorded history. But there is a problem. The Bible itself tells a very different story. Ezekiel never claimed he saw visitors from another planet. He believed he was witnessing something heavenly, something connected directly to God. Yet the mystery remains. Why does this ancient vision sound so unusual? Why does it continue to fascinate believers and skeptics alike? And why do similar questions appear throughout the Bible? Because Ezekiel is not the only biblical figure who encountered beings that seemed beyond human understanding. And as we dig deeper into Scripture, the mystery only becomes more unsettling. The mystery becomes even stranger when we look closer at what Ezekiel actually described. The prophet said the living beings had multiple faces: a man, a lion, an ox, an eagle. Each creature appeared unlike anything found on earth. Their movements were perfect. Their presence was overwhelming. And beside them were gigantic wheels covered entirely with eyes. Eyes in every direction. Eyes watching everything. To modern readers, the description sounds almost impossible. But Ezekiel was not the only person in Scripture to witness such beings. Centuries later, the Apostle John described creatures around the throne of God that looked remarkably similar. The connection is impossible to ignore. Both men described terrifying entities. Both described supernatural light. Both described beings beyond normal human comprehension. This is where many theories begin. Some claim these accounts are evidence of extraterrestrial visitors. Others suggest ancient people interpreted advanced technology through the language available to them. But the biblical explanation remains consistent. These beings are never called aliens. They are described as heavenly creatures: cherubim, seraphim, messengers and guardians connected to God's throne. Still, the question remains: why are these descriptions so different from the angels most people imagine? Popular culture portrays angels as peaceful humans with wings. The Bible often describes something far more intimidating: creatures made of fire, creatures covered in eyes, voices like thunder, power so overwhelming that prophets collapse in fear. Perhaps the real mystery is not whether aliens appear in the Bible. Perhaps the real mystery is how little we understand about the spiritual world the Bible describes. Because once we move beyond Ezekiel, another ancient passage introduces an even darker mystery. A mystery involving strange beings, forbidden unions, and the appearance of the Nephilim. And that is where the debate becomes truly controversial. If any passage has fueled theories about aliens in the Bible, it is Genesis chapter 6. The text describes a mysterious event before the flood. It speaks of beings called the sons of God. According to the passage, they took human women as wives. Their offspring became known as the Nephilim. The Bible describes them as mighty men of old, men of renown. And from that moment, countless theories were born. Some believe the sons of God were fallen angels. Others argue they were simply human rulers or descendants of a godly lineage. But a third group proposes something very different. They suggest these beings were extraterrestrials. According to this theory, the Nephilim were the result of contact between humanity and advanced visitors from another world. The idea has inspired books, documentaries, and endless speculation. Yet there is a major problem. The Bible never presents the story as extraterrestrial. Instead, it places the event within a spiritual framework. Angels, rebellion, judgment, the supernatural. Everything remains connected to the unseen, realm described throughout Scripture. Still, the mystery of the Nephilim refuses to disappear. Why were they feared? Why do stories of giants appear in cultures across the world? Why do biblical accounts repeatedly mention enormous warriors and powerful beings connected to ancient history? No one knows with certainty. And perhaps that uncertainty is exactly why the subject remains so fascinating. People naturally search for explanations, especially when confronted with stories that seem impossible. The Nephilim continue to challenge both believers and skeptics. Were they giants? Were they symbolic? Were they connected to fallen angels? Or do they point to something humanity has forgotten? Whatever the answer may be, one thing is clear. The Bible presents these events as part of its history, and that keeps the mystery alive thousands of years later. After examining Ezekiel, the heavenly creatures, and the mystery of the Nephilim, we arrive at the question everyone wants answered. Does the Bible describe aliens? The honest answer is no, at least not directly. No biblical writer explicitly mentions extraterrestrial civilizations. No prophet speaks of life on distant planets. No apostle teaches that alien visitors have come to Earth. Yet the Bible does describe intelligent beings that are not human. Angels, cherubim, seraphim, spiritual entities that interact with humanity throughout history. The difference is important. Scripture identifies these beings as part of a spiritual reality, not an extraterrestrial one. Still, the fascination remains understandable. Modern discoveries have raised new questions about the universe. Governments investigate unexplained phenomena. Pilots report encounters they cannot explain. And people continue asking the same question humanity has always asked. Are we alone? Interestingly, the Bible answers that question in its own way. It suggests we are not alone, but its focus is not on distant planets. Its focus is on a reality beyond ordinary human perception. A realm filled with spiritual beings, divine power, and mysteries that transcend human understanding. Perhaps that is why passages like Ezekiel and Genesis continue to captivate people today, not because they prove the existence of aliens, but because they remind us that reality may be far stranger than we imagine. The Bible does not reveal every mystery. It leaves questions unanswered. It leaves room for wonder. And maybe that is why these ancient texts continue to spark debate thousands of years after they were written. Because whether someone believes in aliens or not, the greatest mysteries may not be hidden among the stars. They may be hidden within the pages of Scripture itself. And that possibility is every bit as fascinating as the unknown skies above us.